What's up, everybody? Southern Comic Geek coming back at you tonight with a Bake the Snake box. So, Bake the Snake is a fellow YouTuber and down there in Lower Florida. And I found out that he was doing a mystery box, so decided to support a comic book cousin in the community and reached out to him and ordered this. So he had already prepackaged these. Every one of them had its own number. He said pick the number, and that's how we sent it. So tonight, Discovery Bay and Ron the Rican. Well, I really appreciate both of you guys stopping by. Just got my bake box from Bake the Snake, and going to open it up, see what kind of treasure trove we got here. Hopefully got some big stuff. We'll see. Also wanted to mention while I was thinking about it, whether you're looking at this through the live stream or later on, that I am 2 people away from hitting that 200 mark. And at the point of getting 200, I will set up probably just so everybody can be there. And hopefully somebody that's in the chat tonight will be a winner of one of 3 prizes. If you're interested in what those prizes are before everything's said and done, I probably will mention them tonight. But if not, I do have a giveaway video as well as a giveaway update. So one of the things that I had heard that he had done on his boxes, because he works with cabinets or doors, one of the two, wood either way. And so he had cut these pieces of wood to better protect and ship. So definitely, hey, there you go. What's shaking bacon? Just getting your box in, so hopefully you put the Amazing Fantasy 15 and all that kind of good stuff in my box, or that I picked the right box to have all that good stuff in there. But in either case, great packaging. Not everybody can be a woodworker and be so fortunate to have that. But we are working our way to 200, as I stated earlier, and hopefully we'll hit 200 this week, and I'll be doing another giveaway video. I'm going to save these for something. I'm sure there's good use for them somewhere. Unruly Simeon joining us. Thank you for joining us, Unruly. And let's see here. I don't want to be like the kid that tore open his present and tore his present in a fit of wanting to open it quickly. And not that I've ever done that before, right? Okay, where are we at? How is this connected here? The puzzle continues. All right, let's tear this painter's tape here. All right. That's cool. We got here. Okay. All right. So we got 4 people joining us. Got 3 likes. And appreciate everybody again joining tonight. As I've delved into this bake box here. All right. What we got. All right. Now, some of these I'm familiar with and some not so much. And so one at a time. First off, we got, although it's not recommended for kids, just so we can make sure that COPA doesn't come down strongly on us, the Bee Planet, issue number 2. Never read this before. Anybody in the chat, if you read it before, thank you for purchasing. Don't forget, you're also in the drawing for God Country. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So, don't know if any of y'all have ever done it. So then we got X-Men Gold number 30, the Virgin variant cover. So I was fixing to say Kitty Pryde, but she doesn't like to go by that anymore. So Kate Pryde and Lockhead. So Virgin variant action for X-Men. For those of you who have watched the channel, you know I'm a big X-Men fan, and so I collecting all the Uncanny X-Men. I'm actually down to only needing 8 to complete the set of volume 1. That's issues 1 through 544. So yeah, that is a sweet cover. All right, now we got Justice Society of America number 9 with a little Power Girl action on the cover. This is one that Perry would love. It sounds like it looks like somebody that would just have a candle. Don't it? All right. So we got Avengers World number 1. Avengers World number 1. So don't know much about that. So look forward to getting into that one as well. Can't hardly go wrong on Batman. This is Batman 442. Batman 442. So it looks like a good copy of that. If I have this is part 5 of 5, and it seems like I've got the other ones surrounding this number, so it probably is a good one to get there. Yeah, I think you're right. All right, so we got. I'm not up on my Roman numerals. MCMLXXV, issue number 1, Image Comics. So anybody in the chat ever read this can kind of give me an up or down on that book, which I'm going to dive into it in short order and find out for myself as well. All right, so we got DC Comics presents Superman and Firestorm, issue number 45. A little 60-cent goodness. And so another one, good one there. Man, Unruly, you're on top of your game, man. Then we got the Savage Dragon number 3. Savage Dragon number 3. You know, I had all these, like most everybody probably in the chat had back in the day. And I was going through a dollar bin. For those of you who don't know, I got rid of my collection as life happened, and just recently got back into collecting last year. And so, you know, going back and picked up a lot of the old stuff that I had before. That's actually the first published J. Scott Campbell art. Oh, the Savage Dragon. Cool. I would not have known that had you not told me. But I picked up the first issue of Savage Dragon in a dollar box here a while back. And like, you know, it was one of those image things, you know, got all of them, just like everybody back in the early 90s. But that's cool to know about the J. Scott Campbell art there. He sent the art before he was an artist, and they put it in the back page. It's cool. Little comic lore and history, always good to know. And we've got Pretty Violent, number 1. Looks like Ryan Ottley on the front cover there. So a little Ryan Ottley goodness, known for Invincible and also the current run of Amazing Spider-Man. think I watched a video one time where Ryan Otley always loves to do the blood covers. So, Marvel and them are not too hip on it, but I know in Invincible, he was always wanting to do these blood covers. There were a lot of them. Unruly Simeon says, I'm slowly trying to get back all of my 80s DC goodness. There's definitely a lot more. And I know it's to each their own. Every generation, I'm sure people that read Golden Age when it first came out, they say, hey, it's Golden Age or no age, right? But sent you a comment. Cool. And shout out to John's Comics and Kids, who crossed over the 1,000-mile marker of subs this week. And so good for him. Metarog also did as well. Another good channel out there. One day, maybe I'll be up to that level. But in the meantime, down here in the minors, we're just trying to hit the 200-mile marker there. But anyway, so what I was saying, I was looking at my CLZ app, and on the CLZ app, you can, look at all kind of different things about your collection. And one of the things that I noticed about my collection was that in the 80s and 90s, that's more of what I had than anything. And I guess that would be a testament. Hey, that's my generation when I was a kid, and that's what I was reading back then. And so, it kind of makes sense that when I went to rebuild my collection, that was the first thing that I went to was those 80s and 90s stuff. Mad Mike's Comics, yo, what's up? Thank you for stopping by. Just open up Bake Box. Bake, if you're still here in the chat, which I see that you are, how many of these you got left, or do you have any that are left? And you need to sell the rest of them so we can go ahead and send me that God Country. Right? So put that in the chat for everybody else to see. But so yeah, when I rebuilt my read what you like and buy what you want. Exactly. 2 boxes left. So hopefully you'll get those sold, and that way we can get that God Country sooner. And we got Steve and Spot. What's up? Thanks for stopping by. Cool. And so that's what I bought was that 90s stuff. And I know the 90s has a bad rap because the whole Image and Valiant comic book bust that took place back then. But I have in my collection, I actually have more Valiant comics than I do DC comics. And the Valiant comics are those 90s era Valiant comics, the Bloodshots, the Harbingers, the Hardcore Corps, and all that stuff. So I agree with you, Rod. I'm going to read what I like to read. And if there's some other people that like it too, great. But I don't typically buy my stuff to resell it. Metal Rock, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, so I typically buy what I want to read. I'm not buying stuff on spec. I'm like just about everybody else. I've got the Key Collector app, and I'll take a look at it and see what's what. But by the time it hits Key Collector, and by the time I've got to a shop, and by the time I've looked through all this stuff, the glow has wore off, and so it's why spec on it? I'll use my money on stuff that I like, and kind of go from there. I mean, because I'm not buying it for an investment. If again there was some interest in selling some stuff, I sold some stuff off of eBay to kind of further my comic book buying binges. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to buy what I like. So to each their own. Agu Ramos says Valiant gets a bad rap because it's found in the quarter bins. That's exactly right. And most of my stuff I've found when I went back and did all my runs of that. Most of that stuff I did find in quarter bins, found them at Second and Charles's and stuff like that, and met a lot of shop owners at the various shops that I visited pretty happy because they're like, man, somebody's finally taking this stuff off our hands. But it was just a victim of the times. I think that had the 90s bust not taken place, which I talked to one shop owner, and he actually blamed Valiant for some of the woes back then. And that Image, of course, takes a large part of that to blame, but Valiant too, I guess. And had they had the time that DC and Marvel had to gather in all the collectors around those properties, I mean, I think that they could have done it. I mean, I feel like more people today know about Magnus the Robot Fighter, Solar, Man of the Atom, and Turok the Dinosaur Hunter because of those Valiant titles than they do about the Gold Key titles. They're certainly more available to read, and they have some really awesome covers. And the chromium covers, of course, they were the first ones to do those, and really nice. With the Bloodshot movie coming up, I was hoping that maybe they would get in and start making a bigger market for that Bloodshot stuff. Always a big fan of Rye, in which are two sides of the same coin. But yeah, people are to blame. You know, the publishers are only going to, well, I say that. The publishers generally are only going to send out as much as they can sell, right? Because they're in the business to make money. With that said, there are certain publishers that are more worried about movies than they are selling books. To each their own. It's a free country. If I don't like it, I can quit buying them, right? You know, nobody's twisting my arm. So this is just my one man's opinion. But anyway, to put further and push their agenda, right? You know, it's never been a secret that people, artists and writers have had opinions. Some of them good, some I agree with, some of them I don't. It's never been no secret of that. They try to force it a little bit on you. I would argue that why do we have to retcon Iceman as being gay? You know, he was always a ladies' man. Who cares what he does in the bedroom? You know, he's a mutant, an Omega level mutant, as Hickman says. You know, make him that. You know, let him fight bad guys. He doesn't have to be a social justice warrior. Metarog says Magnus was pretty good. You know, I didn't think that back in the day. I thought he was one of the lighter titles, but when I went back and picked all those up, I did really dig the reads on that. Exo Manowar. Steven Spock says, yeah, I like the Exo Manowar from back in the day. The newer series really didn't, you know, tap into. Mad Mike's Comics says, I skipped the 90s books. Sorry to hear that. I think you missed out. Just my personal opinion. Everybody's opinions like armpits. Everybody's got two, and they generally stink. So, you know, everybody's entitled to their own, you know. Yeah, 90s Image. I mean, if you like superheroes in tights, Wildcats, even Youngblood, some Savage Dragon, certainly. You know, I never was a big Spawn fan, but I didn't hate on Spawn fans. I mean, McFarlane put a character out there that I was like, I got the first 10 issues and I sold it, made $1 back in the day. But, you know, obviously there is a lot of Spawn fans out there because, yeah, Pitt, you know, Spawn, Wildcats, Max. Yeah, I had seen some stuff going out on Max that Sam Keith was actually coming out with maybe a movie, and I had forgotten all about the Max cartoon from back in the day. I'm like, good grief, I scratched the rust off that memory. But yeah, so that was another good one. Of course, Sam Keith did all the Marvel Comics Presents after the Weapon X run back when Cyber and all those things. Used to love going to the grocery store and picking those Marvel Comics Presents up because you got one side cover. You get tired of that one, you just kind of flip it over. You had the other one. And so like that was the version of the variant back then. The variants were not quite as big of a thing as what they are now. So you just went to get a book. And I was always a big fan of Jim Lee. Still a big fan of Jim Lee. But that's why I dug me some Wildcats. And that's really why I got into to the latter part of Uncanny X-Men, and of course then X-Men Volume 2. That's how I got into it, because I was a Jim Lee fan. And Chris Claremont, you know, classic writer, and great guys. For those of you who've watched some of my other videos, you've noticed that I like going to different cons. And it's, again, each their own. Some people just like the stories. They don't want to put signatures on their books. And hey, great for you. Me, I like getting the signatures on the book because there's a memory attached to that book. Metarog, I know y'all just had a live chat not that long ago. And one of the things that you mentioned on there was about signatures. I've got different signatures on the books, and I just remember the story associated with me meeting those various artists and creators. And for the most part, I don't go to the New York Comic Cons. I go to the smaller stuff. And, you know, the cosplayer people, they go do their thing. And the movie actors, they got all these people in their lines. But I can sit there and talk to Mike Zeck. I can sit there and talk to Peter David, who's run on Incredible Hulk and X Factor, Aquaman, Spider-Man 2099. I mean, these are stuff that has stood the test of time, right? I mean, he's defined whole eras of certain characters in comics, and there's nobody at his table. It's crazy to me. And just sit there. Now, Claremont, he's always pretty busy, but him, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, these guys, I mean, they're just so nice. And, you know, you can sit there and talk to a guy who's got that kind of fame and still, you know, displays that kind of humility to say, hey, man, I want to talk to the guy who's buying my comics off the shelf. You know, you're the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah, life with two YouTubers, only 2 subs away, you know. Man, just right there. Just if I can just get over that. Hopefully we'll be, I did mention earlier that if we were to cross that 200 threshold, that we've got the 3 giveaways. And since we do have a few people in the chat tonight, 11 according to this, we got 10 thumbs up. Let's see if I can pull these books out real quick. Pull these books out real quick for everybody. And so these are going to be the 3 options. Again, all you have to do is to be subscribed to the channel. I'm going to go take the subscriber list. And so if you're hidden where you don't show people who you are, who you subscribe to, I can't get your name, unfortunately. But if you, just like most people, it's like, I don't care who knows what I subscribe to. I'll just get your subscribe name off of there, and we'll randomize you. The first one is going to be Venom #6. This is the Memphis Comic Expo exclusive. As you can see, that you got Sir Donny Cates' signature right there, and right there you got Ryan Stegman's signature. Got both of them. They were side by side when I went to Louisville Comic Con back in November of last year. Got them both to sign it. Really nice guys. That is your first option. If Venom's not your thing, maybe Batman's your thing, and with a 9.2, Batman Dark Knight signed by David Finch and remarked, another really nice guy. Cool cover, Night of the Owls. One of the better Batman, probably the in the last decade or so. There is that one. Also, The Grim Knight, signed by Scott Snyder, 9.8. Got this one. And the Batman one signed in Memphis in October of last year and got those sent back. So all you got to do is to be subscribed to the channel. We'll randomize it. And upon winning, you'll have the choice of one of these 3 books. And if you so choose to accept it, they will be sent your way. They being the one book you choose. If you are overseas, I have been asked about that. And if you choose to gift it to somebody else, that's perfectly fine by me. You just have to let me know who that's going to be, that lucky person's going to be. And if you want to help on the shipping, anything extra to go overseas, you know, I'm willing to pay what I would normally pay to send it to somebody here in the States. If it's something else, then that's certainly fine if you pick up the extra on that. And so that's what we got going on for those people. For those, look at that, 200. You joking with me? Let me see. Let me see here. Da, 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 da. Here's a story of a lovely lady who couldn't get some good internet. Oh, here we go. 201. Ding, 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 ding. Can't really see that. Turn down the glare, Jason. 201. All right. So Thank you guys for making that happen. And so, I didn't even prepare a speech. First off, I'd like to thank my wife, who's really supportive to me. No, not seriously. Thank you, thank you. And as we grow the hobby together, so be looking for if you are subscribed to the channel, be sure to click that bell notification so you don't miss the notification. I'll probably do it on Wednesday. You're going to check out some of the other channels. I don't really want to conflict with somebody got something else. Yeah, I know, right? I want to thank the Academy. They just had faith in me when no one else did. I need a tissue. And of course, the humor is free, folks, and they say it is worth what you pay for it. But for those of you who are late, we do have the bake box. He says he's got 2 more. Need y'all to go ahead and buy those 2 so that he can send me the it's the bake box bump. There you go. I owe it all to bake. So anyway, so you need to buy these other 2 boxes from him so we can go ahead and be entered into the raffle, and then he can put my name as the winner of the God Country. So pretty violent number 1, Savage Dragon number 3, and according to Bank, it's actually got some J. Scott Campbell art in the back. An unknown fact to me, so that was a good factoid. Superman, DC Comics presents Superman and Firestorm number 45. Part of my ignorance on this one, MCMLXXV number 1. Yeah, I'm going ahead and claiming the prize now. Batman 442. I think this is kind of the Tim Drake era of Batman. Avengers World number 1. Justice Society of America number 9. Power Girl Goodness. This is my favorite of the lot, but I am biased to X-Men. X-Men Gold number 30, the Virgin variant. To the superhero formerly known as Kitty Pryde. And the Bee Planet number 2. There is also another comic in here, just in full disclosure. Bake didn't shorten one. Full disclosure, but the lady's kind of scantily clad, and my son, I know, is watching this on my wife's phone, and so we're going to leave it like that. Okay. All right. So anyway, again, guys, know this was impromptu. Man, it's no problem. I just I didn't want you to be counting that thinking, man, I thought I put so many comics in that box. Yeah, it's the Deja Thorne Dynamite issue number 1, if that rings a bell. Yeah, right. Yeah, something like that. Life with 2 YouTubers. But I do want to do appreciate everybody pushing me over the 200 subscriber limit. So be looking for that giveaway later this week, and good luck to everybody with that. I do want to thank you again for coming and checking it out. Yeah, you're right. It was all white cover, and it was so white that I couldn't even see her clothes. But seriously, though, thanks to Bake for putting the boxes out, and hopefully he'll sell the rest of those as well. This has been a fun venture for me. When I got back into collecting back in September, I shortly thereafter started doing these YouTube videos because I noticed a lot of people were doing that. And it's been a fun thing. Wink Inc. Grats on the 200 subs. Thank you, my comic book cousin there, for the congratulations. And so I noticed everybody was kind of sharing, and it's interesting to me, just the comic book community. You see all these AOKs where everybody's sending these free comic books to people. I mean, what other community does that, right? There's not a lot of well, you collect floppies, or you collect graphic novels, or you read your stuff online, or you slab or you don't slab. There's none of that. It's like, hey, do your thing, man, and I'll do mine, and we'll have fun together, and we'll talk about what we agree on. Because I believe in life that there are more things we have in common than we have not in common, if that makes sense. And so to be able to, I've had a fun time doing this, meeting several people. Got to talk on the phone with Night Tiger today and found out we knew some of the same folks. So that was fun as well. And yeah, very diverse group of people. So again, thank you for stopping by. I won't hold no more of your time up this evening. And until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.